Hello, everybody, and welcome to NASCAR.com GarageCam. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, bringing you inside the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series garage. And check it out, Andrew Curlin.
I'm back.
From NASCAR Acceleration Nation. Joined us for the Xfinity Series show on Phoenix, and we invited him back because he's a good kid and part of the big NASCAR Acceleration weekend, Andrew. And what does that basically mean for people watching GarageCam on NASCAR.com and on Facebook Live on NASCAR channel?
Man, it's Kids Drive NASCAR, and basically kids are being featured in every. Our Sports Illustrated reporters in the media center. We got youth autograph sessions. We've got garage tours for the kids. So really, it's 3 weeks of pure action for the kids to try and get the future generation involved in the sport.
All right, and there's nothing cooler than being a 16-year-old, right?
Absolutely.
Andrew, and being in the NASCAR garage?
It's crazy.
Check it out. You're standing in Dale or in our juniors pit.
Nothing better. I don't know if I'm allowed to be here right now or not, but
I'll just tell them you're with me.
Right. I'm with GarageCam.
All right, as we walk and stroll through this garage area, we're going to talk to some of the stars and show you the cars of the Monster Energy Cup Series and Ty Dillon's number 13 right here. And last time we were at Pocono, Andrew, Bubba Wallace was in this number 43. But Eric Amarola back behind the wheel. And I'll tell you what, last week, if they didn't have that caution at the end in Indianapolis, this is one of the teams that was up there contending for a win that had fuel to make it all the way. So when the yellow flag came out, that was the end, basically, for Eric Amarola.
Absolutely. That's one of the great things I love about NASCAR's the fuel mileage races. It brings anybody into play. They were talking about Trevor Bayne winning the race, possibly. So you never know what you see. We've seen it this year before, the amount of one-time winners in 2017. There's so many winners. Honestly, I think we can get to 16 at the start of the playoffs.
And Michael McDowell was another guy that could have won last week as well at Indianapolis. And this weekend, of course, Fire Department of New York, the FDNY Foundation, on the nose of this number 95 Chevrolet.
Let me tell you one thing about this 95 team. They are going places. They have been running consistently in the top 20s, top 15s, and they've been getting the finishes. I think they're going to be one of the big teams come in a couple of years because they work very, very hard.
Well, Todd Parrott's really got this crew tightened up right here, and Michael McDowell, the good driver who actually was part of FanFest last night.
He was.
And he won the lip sync battle, dude.
I love that. Daniel Suarez, I think he did the song Despacito, I think is what it was.
Desperado? No.
Desperado, I don't know.
He did the Macarena, too,
yes,
which was pretty funny.
That was amazing. And Michael McDowell, he's so funny. That was so
McDowell brought out what we learned, that he's a lyrical gangster.
Yes.
And he brought that out last night at FanFest. So if you don't know what FanFest is, check it out, NASCAR.com. There's a video that's going to be posting, of course, and we're going to cover those FanFests because we did it last week as well. And FanFest, and some of these two-day shows, they're experimenting with doing some of those FanFests to bring fans a real good access to the drivers.
Let me tell you, Pocono did a great job with getting these drivers involved. I'm pretty sure there was a cook-off with Martin Truex and Dale Jr., so they're
Dale
really
Jr.'s team with Blaney won the cook-off.
Yes, they're really giving fans everything.
Overton's right here, sponsor of the race. Check this out, Safety Clean. You guys know what Andrew, do you know anything about Safety Clean?
I don't. This is I'm learning something new here.
Okay, this is really cool. So basically, if the oil, transmission fluid, any fluid that comes out of the car there gets recycled, you bring it to the Safety Clean Center over here, and you see those tubs, you can wash parts in those tubs right there, and those yellow tanks right there, there's different ones for oil and different fluids, but you dump them within there and then they get recycled.
Interesting. Learn something new every day.
Hey, not just a hat rack. All right, but let's go to this side of the garage, and I think we have our first driver of the day right here. I believe. Well, oh, there he is. It's Matt D. Matt Dina Benedetto. What's up, man?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Well, he's going to be interviewing you right here. Andrew Curlin with NASCAR Acceleration Nation.
It was your birthday recently, wasn't it?
couple days ago, maybe.
We got something for you here. A nice little birthday card.
Oh, look at that. Everybody, first look.
We had to include the heart.
Can I open it now?
Of course.
Open it now.
Okay. All right. All right, here, let's. Grandpa Pop's Papa.
We weren't sure your age. We just assumed you were an old guy, right?
Man.
Did you notice I underlined love?
Yes. So, what are you guys trying to say?
Oh, you're old.
Compared to me.
Okay, fair enough. What
Wait,
about
how old
compared
are
to
you?
Dillner?
How old are you?
26.
Okay, he's 16.
Okay, I'm a decade older. Yeah. Okay. Well, now I feel
you're right
older.
in the middle.
Thanks, Dillner.
You're right in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Thinking about
'cause I'm
retirement
really
soon?
I'm Junior and I we've been talking about it. I've had a good run in my career. Getting old now that I had my birthday. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Well, my birthday's actually next week. I'm turning 16, which means big driver's test. Have any advice for me?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would suggest do it in a car where you can do burnouts.
Fair.
Yeah, so they like that a lot. Whenever you go to make your 3-point turn or whatever, it's actually better just to build up a lot of speed. Pull the e-brake and then just spin it around, so you don't have to do it in 3 points. You just do it in 1.
I have to drive with my dad, so I don't have a lot of practice with that.
Oh, we happen to have a rental car here.
Let's do it.
If you'd like any lessons,
I've seen this guy drive a rent-a-car. It's pretty spectacular.
After GarageCam's over, we're headed over to your place, all right?
Yeah, I can give you your pre-driver's test. We'll get you hooked up.
Hey,
Perfect.
real quick, let's talk about last week. I know we're into this week in Pocono, but last week was a huge week for this little number 32 team with such an incredible run at Indy.
Yeah, 8th place at the Brickyard. That was that was awesome. That was cool. Those kind of runs are totally wins for us. So that was neat. Great payday for the team. With Daytona 500 9th, Indy Brickyard 400 8th. So those are huge days for us. And we got a new sponsor on the car this week. We got Dick Stevens Jerky and Trail Mix. So it's and
So
did
is it
you
jerky
guys
and trail mix like in this like?
Yeah, so
boat?
there's jerky in like the trail mix. It's got like cranberries, almonds, a bunch of stuff in it. It's actually
we gave you a card. Where's our trail mix?
Yeah.
What's up with
We
that?
only have like 200 bags, I think, at the trailer, so you might want to.
Yeah, thanks.
I know you're a food
thanks
guy.
for bringing some for us.
I'll grab some when he gives me my pre-driver's test. How's that sound?
All right, fair enough. Deal.
All right. We'll see you, Matt D.
All right.
All right, check it out. Dick Stevens on the back of this car. And new sponsor this weekend on the 32 after that impressive run at Indianapolis.
Marvin Blue says, "Good morning, NASCAR."
Checking out the chat right now on NASCAR Facebook Live.
Hello from Englewood, Ohio as well. And Christine Johnson's watching from Milwaukee, Wisconsin as well.
Ooh,
We got
Milwaukee.
people all over the U.S.
Hey, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I miss going to the Milwaukee Mile, and it's a shame.
Speaking-
Most people don't realize what's going on at the Milwaukee Mile right now, and it's a sad thing. Some of the grandstands being torn down, the fair board involved. It's not pretty, but such a historical race facility. But hey, let's also give a shout out right here to the 72 team. You see the name on top of the roof, and hearts are very heavy in the garage area after the death of Mark Smith, owner at TriStar Motorsports, and been involved in racing for so long, and a great family, and all our thoughts and prayers are with their family and the extended family of TriStar Motorsports here this weekend.
Yeah. You were talking about Milwaukee Mile, and it's funny you mentioned that here at Pocono because Pocono has 3 unique, distinct turns.
Yes.
Turn number 3, based off of the Milwaukee Mile at 6 degrees of banking. I'll tell you one thing, I've raced this place in the video game, and I'm horrible at turn 3, so I don't know how these people do it.
This racetrack, you get a car to handle good in turn 1, and you know it's not going to handle good in turn 2 or 3. You can never get your car 100% perfect perfect on all 3 turns here. And if you do, you basically found the holy grail.
Yes. I was talking to Chase Briscoe yesterday, and he said it's so likely at a place like Pocono where you could be completely loose in one corner and then completely tight in the other. So not only is this tough on the drivers, but as a crew chief, how the heck do you fix that?
Yeah, this is a place that definitely gives the crew chief a headache.
Yes.
Stephen Light, the number 83, right alongside the teammate, and I was just pointing out before how cool this car is.
Yes.
Lehigh Valley Phantoms minor league hockey team on board, and that is absolutely cool. Love seeing cross promotion through different sports. The only thing I don't like is see this right here. Our audio guy right there is a Philly fan. That's the Flyers right there. I don't like that. That's okay. I'm an Islander nerd.
I'm a Blackhawks fan.
Okay, life's easy for you.
Oh, yeah.
Because you win Stanley Cups all the time. Hey, you even beat the Flyers for one. Oh! CJ's going to turn off your audio now for the rest of the day.
At least we can make it there.
No, I can't. Oh, Jeffrey Earnhardt, the Hulu colors. Love seeing this green car. It definitely stands out on the track every week. Derek Cope making another start in that 55 machine. And we're going to cross over to the main strip here, buddy. Follow along with me, Andrew.
Let's do it.
We're making some time here.
We were here yesterday, right as the haulers were pulling in, and if no one's ever seen like a time lapse that these tracks post on social media, let me tell you, hauler drivers are talented because they gotta park it. If you could show some of the haulers, they gotta park those giant haulers all right next to each other. I don't know how they do it.
It's definitely coordinated how they get in here and get them parked and get them lined up just oh so perfectly, because if one or two are slightly off, by the time you get to the end, forget about it.
Absolutely. I gotta give a shout out to my dad because he was looking for this car right here, the Shark Week car.
Oh, Shark Week! Yes! I didn't realize that Shark Week was on this. We walked right by it. Well, of course, this is the race winner from last week, too.
Of course.
What a great story it is because, the 5 team, it's no secret. They've been struggling a little bit. Last year, of course, not leading a single lap during the 2016 racing season. And this year, on the uptick, and that uptick hit on a big way at Indianapolis there with the big win. And a win that's very special for Casey Kahne with his roots in sprint car racing and whatnot. Anytime you win at a place like Indianapolis, that's huge. And this week, trying to take a bite out of the competition at Pocono.
Clever. You know, I will say, even though it was a strategy call by Keith Rodden, Casey Kahne definitely made Brad Keselowski work for it. It was not just a strategy win for this 5 team. Casey Kahne had to do some work behind the wheel to grab them the win at the Brickyard and make sure they could kiss the bricks.
And he wasn't too happy, the number 5, with that some of those last restarts, saying that Brad Keselowski maybe snookered him on one of those restarts there. So it was very interesting, and it was also interesting to see when that wreck happened, and there was a little controversy with it, but when that wreck happened, Keith Rodden was so upset because they thought they hadn't crossed the start-finish line yet, but when indeed they had crossed that overtime line and they were awarded that victory.
Yeah, it was. My family was over. We had some cousins over for dinner, and the race was supposed to be done way ahead of time before that. So I actually had to cut off from dinner a little bit and go to the TV, and it was such an exciting finish for the Brickyard 400. I wasn't there. We usually go to the Brickyard 400, but man, I wish I was there because it was a great show for sure.
Now behind you, Andrew, for anybody watching this, hopefully we have a younger audience maybe watching. Kids drive NASCAR, of course. You see all those little flags with the haulers, but you see above it, that flag is absolutely tremendous.
Really cool.
It's something that anytime you come to Pocono, everybody just takes pictures of because it's so beautiful. Oh, glory.
Daniel Suarez, he was against Michael McDowell, like we talked before, in the lip sync battle. I spoke with Daniel yesterday because I was doing a little work with him for next weekend. We were actually both trying to draw Watkins Glen, and let me tell you one thing, he does not know how to draw. He's not a very good artist, I will tell you that.
Drawing Watkins, I don't know if I could. No, I think I could probably draw Watkins Glen if we had a pen right now. I know that place like the back of my hand. Sonoma? No, I couldn't draw Sonoma, I'll tell you that.
Rich Fleming said, glad to see you guys look at smaller teams. Of course, the smaller teams are totally still a part of NASCAR, and it's always important to shed light on them. And sometimes some of those drivers are the best personalities you see in the garage.
You know, I had somebody tell me earlier in my career, why we don't need any more shots of Brad Keselowski. You know, he's a back marker or whatever, because back then he was running in some, you know, some tough equipment, let's just say that. I'm like, you just never know which one of these guys are going to make it. And, you know, GarageCam, we pride ourselves on telling the story of all the competitors, all the different teams in this sport, because some of the greatest stories come from the backside of our garage. So we appreciate the fact that that fan actually noticed that and said that on about our show.
Absolutely. Jimmy Rawlings said, on my way from Maryland, and we'll go and be at the track tomorrow. Go Kyle Larson. Hey,
oh, there you go.
Look forward to seeing you.
Well, here's the 77 car. That's a slick paint scheme, man.
I agree.
The Sirius
really
XM radio sponsorship. I love listening to NASCAR radio on Sirius. Two-time winner this year, Ricky Stenhouse, the number 17.
Man,
Stenhouse, he's got an ARCA race win here.
He is good.
Ryan Newman's number 31.
We got a comment saying the weather looks good today.
The weather is beautiful.
It was raining pretty hard yesterday, but man, you can't complain right now. It's beautiful.
You can't complain right now. It's absolutely gorgeous weather. Chamber of Commerce weather, as they would say. Nice and warm, but windy and cool. Last week's big winner, Casey Kahne, taking some selfies with race fans. That's awesome. Huge race win for you last week, Casey, and it's just got to put a little extra chip on your shoulder here and make you feel good.
Yeah, it feels really good. We needed it. It was nice to get that win, and feel good. We started here, I think we were 7th after the first run, which was pretty good, and then got slower as we went, so we just got to keep working on it, figure out the things that weren't helping, and go from there for tomorrow.
Let's talk Kids Drive NASCAR. Reason I'm on the show is it's because of Kids Drive NASCAR. How important is it to get kids involved in racing?
I think it's really important. I think it's, you know, you obviously have to want to be involved, and it has to be a passion that you have as a kid, and there's a lot that have that. So yeah, I mean, we got to support it, the ones that do. So I think it's really cool. I like seeing kids that are racing or starting out or into the technical side of the cars. Any of that stuff is really good.
Finally, as a kid, I'm a huge fan of your paint scheme this weekend. Shark Week, how awesome is it to have Shark Week on your car?
It's really good. Let's not get ran over. It's really good. We've had Shark Week for years now with Great Clips, and you know, that's kind of their kids program they do with all their salons throughout the country, and to put Shark Week on our car, we have it on Darren Pittman's Road Outlaw Sprint car as well, is good. It looks good. It's a lot of fun, and I didn't swim with the Sharks this year, but the last few years I did.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Very cool.
All right, thanks, Casey. Best of luck to you this weekend.
Swimming with sharks, man. I'd like to do that.
I've done that.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list to go actually in a shark cage with the great whites. That's something I've always wanted to do. One day I'm going to make it happen. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
Nah, sharks are so cool. I've gotten to dive with sharks at in Nassau in the Bahamas, and let me tell you, it's a really cool experience.
Man, Andrew Curlin lives the life, man. Number 41 of Kurt Busch. The number 22 of Joey Logano has that win this year, but it was encumbered. Can't use it for the playoffs.
And who would have guessed that he's on the outside looking in for the playoff picture?
And then right there, the man that was the big man on campus last time we were at Pocono, and you know how streaky that Pocono Raceway is historically here, whether it's Petty or Allison or Dale Earnhardt Jr. Back-to-back winners have been so prevalent in this sport at Pocono. Can Ryan Blaney make it back-to-back at Pocono? Of course, he won here in June, looking for this win as well.
Wes Winter asked, when is qualifying tomorrow, Matt? Do you know what time?
It's in the morning.
It's in the morning. It's before
in the morning.
the race.
How about that for specific?
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're qualifying. It's a new format. We'll be qualifying at noon Eastern Standard Time, I believe. You can quote me on that, I think. You like my confidence there, I think. Clinton Boyer's Nature's Bakery car. Noon, and then racing at 3. So it'll be an abbreviated kind of rushed day, something a little different than we're accustomed to. But NASCAR trying this new format, this new schedule.
And to answer his question, it's actually at 11:30 a.m. in the Eastern time for qualifying. Oh, why is qualifying tomorrow? Well, NASCAR, I think they were just interested in trying something new. Shorter weekends is what the goal was, and they're experimenting. I believe it's Pocono, Watkins Glen, and
Martinsville. Martinsville.
Is it Martinsville?
It is Martinsville in October, which will be the other kind of 2-day show, 3-day show. It's a 2-day show, but for the Cup cars, but we're here 3 days because of the other series. So I commend them for trying something different, though. Always NASCAR does that, so they do a good job with that.
They listen to the drivers. I know the drivers have been talking a lot about wanting to make the weekends shorter. I'm sure
more condensed.
All these crew guys want, to spend more time at home and with family. So that was one thing that they were experimenting here at Pocono, and then Watkins Glen, and then at Martinsville is making a little bit of a shorter weekend. It's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out. And here's Jimmy's car, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet. He's got 3 wins in the bank this year. Good amount of playoff points for the postseason as Jimmy Johnson looking for a historic number 8 championship. I was fortunate enough to talk to Jimmy as looks like he's signing some autographs for some fans, going to his car, getting ready to start another practice session. As always a fan favorite at any racetrack you go to. And
the throngs of autographs greeting Jimmy Johnson here. We'll set a pic for him now. All right, Jimmy. Oh, you signing our camera for us? Oh, thanks, bud.
I want to devalue your camera.
No, that's okay.
What's this?
Andrew Curlin's joining me. Kids Drive NASCAR, buddy. It's a big week.
Kid's growing, too. I mean, when we first started, you were like here, and now look at
I wasn't that short.
Well, maybe not.
Kids Drive NASCAR this week. This is why I get to be on GarageCam. You got a couple of kids back at home. What's it like having them be at the racetrack?
I fell in love with racing as a kid, so I think I can always see that gleam in a kid's eye when they come to the track and watch you grow up. I guess maybe not quite that tall, but to see it in my kids too. Even recently, we've been riding some dirt bikes, and being a father of 2 girls, I wasn't sure dirt bikes would be kind of in the lay of the landscape, and to see them love it and be very interested in motorsports is cool.
Look forward to it. Good luck to you this weekend, Jimmy.
Good to see you.
All right, Jim. Appreciate it, buddy. Jimmy Johnson, speaking well of Kids Drive NASCAR, the initiative. I think it's a great initiative personally. I mean, I fell in love with the sport as a kid as well. At short tracks like Islip Speedway and Stafford Motor Speedway in Connecticut. And most people fall in love as a child with the sport because it's just cool. I mean, I've got a kid. He's 2 years old.
Yeah.
And all he does is loves race cars and loves Lightning McQueen. In fact, when we pray at night, I always say, hey, who do you want to pray for? And he says, Lightning McQueen.
I'll tell you, Cars 3, one of my favorite movies this year.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm dying to see it.
It's amazing.
I don't know if you can bring a 2-year-old to the theater. I know you can, but...
I'll tell you, I annoyed my friends because I pointed out every single NASCAR reference there was in the movie. And I even wrote it down on my note sheet. So, Cars 3 and Kids Drive NASCAR, even kids 12 and under are free to all NASCAR Xfinity and Camping World Truck Series races. That's such a great deal because now it's so easy for parents to get people involved. I talked to my sisters after they went to their first race and after they saw Cars 3, and they said that alone made them more interested in watching racing. And I think
awesome.
that's the perfect part.
I just really fell in love with the first movie. I didn't like the second movie that much, I'll admit, but this movie here, I'm really impressed with the homage they pay to the history of the sport. I'm a big fan, a dork kind of Lost Speedways, and of course they modeled the Thomasville Speedway in the movie after North Wilkesboro and Okanichi and a few other places they looked at for some of those scenes, and I think it's incredible because we have a beautiful history in our sport that Cars 3 pays homage to that.
I'll tell you one thing. One of my favorite references. You have to have a pretty keen eye to see it, but they actually do make a reference to Jocko Flacco, the monkey that was in one of the race cars. So if you're watching Cars 3 for the first time or watching it again, keep an eye out for the name Jocko Flacco because he is in Cars 3.
Now, a lot of people watching this probably don't know the story of Jocko Flacco. Are you familiar with it? I'm a huge fan of the story.
Partially familiar. I know he was a monkey who rode along. I forget.
Tim Flock.
He was a monkey who rode around with Tim Flock in a couple of races. And
his car owner actually approached him with this Rhesus monkey and said, "Okay, we're gonna put this monkey in the car." And he's like, "What are you talking about here?" They got the monkey his own seat, his own fire suit, and everything, and he became such a little legend in a few races. Unfortunately, something happened where the monkey got skipped by a rock is the legend, and then he never raced again. But hey, a monkey has won a race in NASCAR.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, it was, I believe, at Hickory Motor Speedway in Tim Flock's car.
Awesome.
Jocko Flacco, the monkey, the winner in auto racing. It's history, man.
Oh yeah, I love that little.
Sport has colorful anecdotes like that, buddy.
I love that, and that's what just shows how fun NASCAR is. I mean, when I told my friends that, they're like, "What? A monkey racing? You got to be joking!" And then I sent them a link to one of the articles saying that, "Oh yeah, there was a monkey racing."
Well, there's a bunny on this car, not a monkey, but the Energizer, well, still going. Number 42 of Kyle Larson. Of course, some announcement this week that Target won't be returning next year to this team, to the Chip Ganassi race teams, the IndyCar side and the NASCAR side. But Credit One Bank and Energizer, so many other sponsors have hopped on, especially when you have a young talent like Kyle Larson, the California kid here, the kid that they call Big Young Money, who can really get it done in sprint cars and now has proven himself to be a formidable force here in stock car racing on the NASCAR side.
Landon Jones commented, "Tell me about your podcast, Andrew." That is so funny you mentioned that because still trying to get that podcast started up, but it's called Next Gen Connection. It's on iTunes and SoundCloud, and it's with myself and my friend Jason Schultz, and we talk all about everything you can do at NASCAR as a kid, and we talk about our experiences because, I mean, this is pretty cool. You get to be a reporter in the garage, and my friend Jason, he also does some writing for some articles and websites. So we talk all about anything you can do at a racetrack. We just talked about TV and how important
I'll be
TV
downloading it. I saw there was something with a tweet about it where you had an all-star TV lineup.
Yes.
Am I not on that?
Well,
no, I'm not. I've got to like lobby to get on that. Tell me what it's like to be in the garage area when the cars fire up.
Man, I love it. Just the smell from the cars, and there's no other sound like that. It really is an amazing sound, and just another reason that you love NASCAR is when the engines get fired up, you know these guys are ready to roll and ready to go racing, and that's the best part about it.
Now over here, the point leader next to Kyle Larson, the number 78 of Martin Truex Jr. Now you saw that car pull out in the background, but he will not be getting on track for 30 minutes. They had a pit penalty, a penalty for not going through inspection right for the first practice, losing 15 minutes. But for this final practice, the number 78 car will miss 30 minutes. 30 minutes of this final session. So you want to talk about being put behind the 8 ball. This 78 team lost some of its key crew members with that altercation you saw on NASCAR.com with Fox Sports and all that with Adam Stevens, and now behind the 8 ball with less track time at Pocono for the Furniture Road number 78.
Interesting how it all works out. Larson fires his engine. He's rolling away. Practice is about to get started.
And that's about it for NASCAR.com GarageCam. Andrew Curlin, man, we appreciate you joining us always fun having fun with you because I see in you the same passion that a lot of us have had in the sport.
Man, I love it. Every minute I get to spend here in a NASCAR garage is a minute well spent, and I really appreciate you letting me join you for the past 30 minutes on GarageCam. It was a lot of fun.
All right, buddy. That's it from Pocono for GarageCam. You can tune in every week on NASCAR.com and Facebook Live as we watch some of the cars roll out here. Chase Elliott. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, for Andrew Curlin. Until next time, we'll see you at the races.